The major international tournaments are over. The Olympics don't really count. And we're full into the preseason for the Premier League teams. How's it shaping up for everyone? What do the transfers look like? Let's find out tonight. This is Red Card Radio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're listening from. Thanks for tuning in. Red Card Radio is a weekly look at the Premier League from three friends who support different clubs. My name is James, and I support Arsenal. Up here on the top row with me is Brad at KS Brad G. He is our resident Chelsea supporter. And down below us, as always, keeping the place that Tottenham should be below Arsenal, is our Spurs supporter, Sean. What's going on, everyone? How are we doing today?
It's right. Fantastic.
That's good. Before we get started, like we always do, we are at Red Card Radio on @redcard_radio on Twitter. I'm at James Tiffany. That's at KS Brad G, at Whiteheart_Sean. If you could, for these videos and podcasts, however you're listening to it, if you could like, comment, subscribe, share it with a friend, do all those good things. If you're on YouTube, ring this, when you sub, ring the notification bell. That really helps the algorithm, I'm told. And leave us a comment, talk with us, interact with us, tell us that we're stupid. Sean, what's going to happen to people if they don't do those things?
Well, this actually happened to me. It's very inconvenient. I hope that one of your random channels, it was TBS for me, just happens to just be in Spanish. Then I had to figure it out. Then I had to figure out how to get out of it. So if you don't like, subscribe, and rate and review, I hope one of your channels turns to Spanish.
What happens if they speak Spanish? That's not an inconvenience, man.
Well, if you're English speaking, if you're Spanish speaking, then I hope one of your random channels turns to English.
Alrighty.
And then you got to have to figure out how to get it back.
Lovely. All right.
Wow.
So
that's very convenient.
This evening,
it took me like 10 minutes.
Did it?
Yes, because it was just one. It wasn't all of them. I went back to ESPN, and that's English. I go back to TBS. It's Spanish.
I want to move on to the podcast, but I have to
ask.
All right, sorry. No. This is a question.
I was so inconvenient.
This is a question regarding this. Was it just translating into Spanish, or was it the CBS broadcast?
It was dubbed. No, it was dubbed over.
You hit the Espanol button and didn't even know it. You hit the ESP button.
I don't even have an Espanol button. I should though.
Yeah, I'm legit interested by this.
It happened. It happened. It took me 10 minutes to figure it out.
Well, I mean, that's not surprising, but...
All right.
Anyways, on to the pod.
Anyway, things we've got lined up for us this evening, or this morning, whenever you're listening to it. We're going to touch on some comments that we had from our most previous podcasts. We're going to talk mostly about transfers this week, mostly talking about the transfers from the top 10, or the teams that finished in the top 10 last year in England, and some other notable teams. And then we'll kind of touch on the friendly results for a little bit from our teams. See what can be gleaned from those matches, if there is anything of importance that can be taken away from those matches. But of course, as always, we want to talk about what you guys want to talk about, your comments from last week, what our listeners are thinking and saying. So Jimmy on YouTube, he was he kind of disagreed with us about Gareth Southgate. He thought that he did a good job throughout the tournament. He didn't really have any issues with the 11 that he picked for the final. And then when he saw how they were playing in the final, he was like, okay, this was the right decision for this team. He kind of had some issues with when he made substitutions and whatnot in the final. But, whatever. He also agreed with me on 2 occasions that Spain was both a terrible team in the tournament and that the Chiellini incident on Saka was a yellow card. Will also agreed with Jimmy on that point as well on YouTube.
Jimmy's getting a red card there. Jimmy's getting a red card there for that Southgate. Southgate was terrible.
Dang.
Southgate got lucky.
He's banned for 4 games.
Yeah.
But
keep commenting, Jimmy. You can still keep commenting. We haven't banned from that yet.
Are they friendly games or like real?
I don't know
games?
what they are.
Okay, all right.
No, Southgate was awful.
I don't know. My opinion of Southgate is less aggressive than it was a couple weeks ago. The only issue I have with Southgate was allowing the 19-year-old to take the final penalty, and the lack of a
That was
spine.
the only one. Not bringing on Rashford, who hadn't played the entire tournament, in the 119th minute to also take a penalty.
Yeah, well, I'm a homer.
Not playing Sancho at all, pretty much. None of those were also fuck ups.
I mean, I was rooting for Italy, so I don't mind that. I don't mind that the England manager didn't do well. Since I'm a homer, I'm mad that he left my boy out there to dry. I'm upset about that. But speaking of Will, he had a comment. We last week or 2 weeks ago, I guess. Sean, I think it was tongue in cheek. I don't know if you truly believe it was a true comment or not. But you were arguing that Paratici coming to Tottenham was a step up for him. Will is our Juventus supporter, so he is very familiar.
Juventus?
And this is kind of a running
Juventus.
A running kind of battle that you two are having, I guess. I don't think it's much of a battle personally, but his thoughts.
It's not.
His thoughts about Paratici is that no one was really sure how much of Juventus' success can be attributed to him, and that Pep Morata, was the main guy until he left to join Inter in 2018, right after the Ronaldo deal. And then Morata went on to Inter and built a championship team with Inter, while Juventus has regressed somewhat comparatively. And he thinks that Tottenham is really where Paratici will show his worth, whether he's got it or he doesn't. So this is kind of his thought, is that Paratici will either rise or he'll sink here. I know what I think. I know what I think is going to happen. I'll let you go for it.
He's not wrong. It was tongue in cheek, but also I am gonna stand beside it. It was tongue in cheek, just digging at Will.
Yeah.
But it's a step up. Like, nobody watches Italian soccer.
So you're saying England to Italy, English football from Italian football is a step up.
Yes. And Tottenham's one of the big four, big five, whatever you want to, big six, whatever you want to call it now.
Seven? Big
yeah,
seven?
six,
Big
seven,
seven?
yeah.
Don't worry.
Well,
We'll
get out
include
of here.
James for the big 8, but big 7 right now.
Arsenal are the third biggest club in England.
Yes,
Where'd they
absolutely.
finish?
We finished 8th last year, but we're the
That's
third
right.
biggest footballing institution in England.
It's United, Liverpool,
Arsenal,
City. No, actually Chelsea, then City.
You guys
Then
are
Tottenham.
missing clubs, unfortunately.
No.
But we won't get into this right now.
Anyways, it is a step up. So I'm standing beside that. However, he's right, because Tottenham's not Juventus. They are spending. I just don't know when the sell-off's going to be, because they're spending money. They're close to the $50 million for Romero. It was like a Lamella plus. Well, we'll talk about this later, but Lamella plus 25 for Gill. I know this is net spend capital of the world. Like, they're spending. I know the sell-off's coming.
Well, the thing about Juventus is that they're super broke, and they've been doing some interesting deals to cook the books for the last couple seasons, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, but so clearly Tottenham are being more frugal this summer than I think any of the Italian teams would or will be. But I don't know. Tottenham's in an interesting position because you guys have so much debt from the stadium and whatnot, and you guys did take a COVID loan through the Bank of England, which you guys paid back, I'm sure, because they were all due. But you guys just have a mountain of debt on, and how are you going to spend money with still having a mountain of debt?
That's why I've been telling you guys Kane's not going anywhere. The way they're spending, he's probably going somewhere.
And I think Tottenham also did some creative banking when they added a Bank of America loan to cover the short-term loans and transfer them into long-term loans, freeing up some capital for this year.
Well, I mean, Arsenal did that as well. They took a Bank of England loan for COVID, and then they restructured it through a different loan to pay it back.
Chelsea didn't do that.
You guys print money with oil, Russian oil. I don't care what Chelsea does when it comes to money. You guys are the progenitors of just not caring about money in football.
It's great.
Chelsea Football Club is the reason why we have Manchester City and PSG. So I don't want to hear about a Chelsea fan saying, "Oh, we didn't have to take a loan.
We didn't do that."
Daddy Roman.
We have to worry about money around here.
Daddy Roman came in on
money?
his yacht and just wrote a check. So I don't want to hear it. Please don't bring up money.
Get out of here.
All right.
I'm sorry. You'll have to deal with all of this.
I wanted to make a point about Paratici. Sean, your camera's a little out of focus.
You're really blurry.
But
This is what your eyes look like?
my point about Paratici is that I think that Daniel Levy is bringing him in to reduce the pressure on him specifically, in that over the last couple seasons, Spurs have done fairly well, made it to Champions League final, been finishing in the top 4, finishing in Europe. They were in the Champions League for 5 straight seasons, all this good stuff. Had a really good run with Pochettino. Sacked Pochettino when things weren't going well. Hired Jose Mourinho, hired this winner. Clearly, things were going to win a trophy, make it to the League Cup final. And then, you don't win a trophy.
The bottom fell out.
You fall. Yeah. You fire Mourinho, and, COVID's happening, so you have all this debt. I think Levy, and this is 100% conspiracy theorying here, I think Levy's kind of there's a lot of pressure on me, there's a lot of eyes on me, I need to kind of distance myself a little bit here and let me hire a director of football who then, someone who has some clout, get somebody who has clout, and then I can be if things don't go well, be look, it wasn't on me, I wasn't doing it, it was him. Don't come at me. Don't bring the pitchforks to my house. So this is my theory on why Daniel Levy made it a point to hire someone now. Because I don't know. Have you guys had a director of football in the past? I don't remember.
I think they have, but I think Levy's just kind of
who did you fire?
Overruled all of them.
Who did you fire to get Paratici in this position then, or who? Because there was no this so and so left this position and now Tottenham are going to hire for. I didn't hear any of that, and of course I'm not involved in the Spurs ecosystem, so I don't know who you guys have, but so that's just my thought process on this. Because to be honest, directors of football are a pretty new thing in England. They're much more of a continental European thing. The football manager had lasted so much longer in England than it did anywhere else in Europe. So the guy who just runs everything, that's kind of an old English thing. So having a director of football is, I think, a relatively new thing in England.
Yeah, I think it's become. Yeah, director of football's
it's much
true,
more common.
But that's because that's also because managers also don't last as long as they used to, right? You don't have a winger that's there for 20 some odd years. So Alex Ferguson that's there 20 some odd years that literally was in the youth academy because they were playing in the youth academy that they brought in.
Yeah.
It was Steve Hitchen. They call him the technical director.
That's Daniel Levy. Steve Hitchens. Yeah, that's no one.
Yeah.
That guy's not a human being. That's a name on a piece of paper.
He was pointed on. Yeah, he doesn't even have a picture.
Okay. All right.
Right. It's yep.
I think
to prove your point.
I think this makes my point. I think this makes my point.
Franco Baldini was the first one. He was hired in 2013. Does have a picture.
Yeah.
And then Steve Hitchen does not.
Well, Baldini we knew about though. I think Hitchen was just kind of the guy that was put into place while Levy did everything.
Brad, I can't specifically speak to that. I don't know.
I don't think you're wrong in that assessment, James. And when it goes wrong, it was his fault. So now I'm going to take it back because when I was here, we were Champions League finals when I was doing all of this stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Jerry Jones with the Cowboys thing is that he's the owner, but he's also the GM, and recently he hired a GM, didn't he? So that there's less pressure on him. Anyway, didn't he?
No,
I thought he hired a GM.
No, he hired a coach that is a G, that does kind of both. He has more say than most coaches that came in. But Jerry Jones is never giving nobody.
He ain't giving that up. He ain't giving that up.
Loyal listeners, you can tell that I really don't like American football. I think it's I don't like it. It's just not a good sport. So I tried to make an analogy here for our American listeners, and I failed horribly.
Failed
Because
miserably.
American football sucks.
Because the Cowboys suck.
It's a bad
The
sport.
Cowboys suck.
It's not a good sport.
I think that's something Sean and I would agree on.
Anyway,
Bump the Cowboys.
let's talk about the English Premier League, boys. Let's talk about
Okay.
transfers. So I kind of have this set up, listed 1 through 10, how the teams finished. So we could talk first about Manchester City. In terms of, clearly they're the champions. They probably don't need a lot to challenge for the title again next year, and so that kind of speaks a little bit to who they've signed so far this summer. And I will throw this out there for our listeners. All of my information I've pulled from transfermarket.com or transfermarket.us, whatever. And so if I'm not talking about one of your rumors or something like that. We're trying to only talk about confirmed transfers, and I'm excluding things that I think are unimportant. So loans for for people I think are academy players, I'm not really talking about. Those are my caveats.
We can save everybody some time on City. They signed some keeper that's going to be third string. That's boring. The only news is Aguero out
And Garcia
was a thing.
Aguero and Garcia leaving, but both of those were no.
Like a club legend. City doesn't have a lot of hit. Well, I'm sure they do. I won't trash their history, but
They do not. They do not.
I don't know what happened in the 30s, but
It wasn't that.
they weren't good till recently.
Yeah.
Aguero is a city legend.
Yes.
So that's a big deal. Him leaving. That's basically it. That's how.
Do you guys want to know?
We just talked about City's transfer.
An interesting anecdote about Eric Garcia and Sergio Aguero is that they both signed for.
Barcelona.
They both signed for Barcelona, but unless Barcelona can figure out their wage structure, they will not be able to be registered for La Liga.
Yeah.
So they will not be able to play in La Liga unless Barcelona can figure out their wage structure, and I think they have to drop 200 million euros.
It's why Messi
hasn't signed yet.
is still free agent because he can't really sign.
Yeah, so City hasn't really done much. There's this
The big one's United.
Yeah, United signed Sancho, and
finally,
as of recording this this evening, this is on Tuesday the 27th for people who care. They have reached an agreement with Real Madrid for Varane, the signing of Varane. And they signed Heaton, the goalkeeper. Tom Heaton.
Yeah.
From
was it Villa or West Ham?
Norwich.
Oh,
Norwich. Yeah.
Norwich.
So they signed up a backup keeper. That's Villa. Brad signed from Villa.
I thought it was Villa.
Yeah. He's 35, so he's mad old. So he's clearly a backup, and I think maybe backup in case De Gea was if De Gea left, he's back up.
De Gea's out of there. De
Gea has to be out of there.
But why?
Yeah.
If he is,
Henderson's better.
Yes, I agree with you. But if he is out of there, why isn't he gone yet?
Why isn't Kepa gone yet?
Because you guys pay him way too much money.
I think De Gea's paid way too much money too for where he's at now.
I don't know. Maybe it's possible. But
if he's gonna be our backup goalie, we pay Kepa way too much to be our backup goalie. If De Gea's gonna be a backup goalie, he's paid way too much.
Probably because they were both signed to be first team. Anyway,
correct.
First choice. So Jadon Sancho and Varane, those are big signings.
And they're fast. Not really. Sancho wasn't fast. Sancho was a 16-month slug to get this done.
Yeah, well, dealing with Borussia Dortmund is notoriously slow. To sign players.
They negotiate, brother. They don't negotiate.
Yeah, they say this is what our price.
This is the price.
Yeah,
this is the price.
And you
pay it or
you don't, and then I think the reason why the Varane one was so quick was because he wanted to go,
and it's his last year.
Madrid need the money, and what is one of the only clubs in England that is willing to pay the money?
United.
Who are the few clubs in England that can pay the money?
So. Chelsea were in.
United, City, Chelsea.
Chelsea were in until we won the Champions League, and then I think we pulled out of this because we were the leading contenders to bring Varane in, and then
you need some money for Thiago Silva.
Why wouldn't you try and sign him now? Just because you won the Champions League, it's not like.
I think Tuchel was happy with the defenders he had.
But that's so short-sighted.
We don't know if he's going to be the manager this whole year.
I think
you're thinking it's the reason why Tottenham sucks because everybody's old and they didn't think about the future.
But that's all Chelsea usually thinks about.
I think what happened here was he almost signed. Varane almost signed for Manchester United years ago before he signed for Madrid. I think that's my understanding of the situation. And so I think having almost signed for them in the past, they're back in. Manchester United's a big footballing institution. Like
also,
they're
you're not wrong.
So,
but also 50 mil for a player on the last year of his contract.
He's a good player.
Expensive.
He's still good.
Right,
like it's
but
not like they're signing a trash can.
You're not wrong. Like, is he worth 50 mil? Sure, but it's the last year of his contract. Like, in 6 months from now, you can sign him on a free.
Hold on, didn't you guys sign Timo Werner on the last year of his contract for like 47 million?
No, it was as soon as his buyout clause kicked in. I think he had 2 years left. Oh. It was a buyout clause.
You guys recently signed something. Was it Pulisic? Maybe. I think you guys signed someone like laughably poorly recently. Like I thought it was. I think it might be Pulisic. I don't have to. That's neither here nor there.
Varane is so much better of a signing than Harry Maguire.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yes.
Like the money they put into that, like 50 mil for Varane is infinitely better than 82 million for Harry Maguire.
But that's apples and oranges considering the type of transfer it is. One is different countries, and the other is direct rivals in the league.
English tax.
And English tax, exactly. So Leicester is absolutely going to bleed United for a signing, in the same way that we're getting bled by Brighton over the potential Ben White transfer.
So can we talk? Yeah,
no, we're not talking about that till it's official. Check back next week.
It is. I think it is official.
It's not.
I think I got a here we go from Fabrizio.
That's not official, Brad.
That's a here we go. That's official.
That's not technically official. I wasn't going to talk about the Varane thing until I found it on United Twitter. So
Okay.
But yeah, like I don't know. How do you guys feel about the Sancho transfer though? Do you think that he's going to be as good as everyone's making him out to be?
Took way too long. I hope so because like I like Sancho as a player, but like who makes way or who doesn't get play? I guess Martial is the odd man out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because Cavani, you signed Cavani for another year, so Martial won't be playing forward. Cavani will probably be the starter there. Rashford on the left, Sancho on the right.
I mean, I guess so.
Mason
Greenwood doesn't play then. Right?
Mason Greenwood doesn't, right. So and you have to play a 4-3-3 essentially, or 4-2-3-1, which same thing.
I mean, I don't know. United's going to be in enough competition.
Sancho's like a. He's not a. Is he a full forward? I thought he was like an attacking forward. He's an attacking midfielder.
He's a
right winger.
He's a right winger, right winger, right midfielder, whatever you want to call it. He's a winger.
He's a right-sided attacking player,
like a Riyad Mahrez.
I mean, I'm sure the player profiles are exactly the same, but he's an attacking player who plays on the right side. So yes.
Okay.
It's the best way to put it.
No, I thought he just played. I thought he played more centrally. That's my bad for just not knowing.
Yeah, he also is one though that needs the ball at his feet. Like he's not really one that's going to make like a crazy run to get there, which I guess works kind of.
I kind of wonder how long it's going to take him to adapt to the English league.
Right.
I think because I was just thinking with that in mind, that was my exact thought, Brad. I think we were going down the same path. I think he would be better to play behind the 4-3-3. And play behind that front line.
But then you have Bruno.
And have Martial. They can play together.
That's a lot of creativity in the middle, right? Because who gets the ball? Who's the creator here? Because you already have a creator.
That's not Bruno. What's not Bruno.
But you know what I'm saying? Like have Martial on the left and Rashford on the right and Cavani up top, and then you have Bruno and Sancho behind. That's not
lot
bad.
Of balance, but who plays defense?
Where's Jesse Lingard playing?
West Ham.
He's not. He should have stayed at West Ham.
Where's Van de Beek playing?
He's not
in the Netherlands somewhere.
In the Netherlands.
Where's I mean Pogba won't be there, but where's Fred playing?
They have a deep squad. They have a lot of players.
They do.
But that's what, like the formation. let's see what they can do. But like,
I mean,
there's only one ball.
4-3-3 is like the hotness. It's the hotness in football right now. So everyone's gonna play it.
Yeah, it is.
You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna end up being like a kind of a quasi 3-man top.
They might
Maybe
be
like
able
a 2-2-1 up top instead of a 3.
What about 3-4-3? Wan-Bissaka,
No.
Sure.
Maguire, and Varane.
No,
I mean, sure.
It's
you
an
could,
interesting backline.
You could do it. Do you have the question is, do you have the wing backs to do that though?
but no, you can't do that with Basaka because he goes forward too much and he's an idiot.
But as a 3-back though, you can go. As a 3-back, you can go forward a lot. Though. Like, I don't know if you watch
yeah, but he has
Chelsea
to
a
be a
ton.
wing.
Like Rudiger and Aspi both.
So you're
go
saying
forward.
Basaka is not a part of the back 3.
No, I
he
would put
is.
him, he'd either be the back 3 or the right wing back.
Basaka's an idiot. You cannot put him back there because he just goes forward. No, that cannot happen.
It's very interesting because then Sancho tucks in a little bit more on the right side.
When I watch Wan-Bissaka highlights, I'm like, oh, this is great, but he's just making recovery videos because he fucked up and like it just got back fast enough to save it.
Facts.
It's true.
It's so facts.
Like you can't make a highlight video of how I fucked up but saved it still. Like that's not a highlight video.
So I mean, clearly these are both good signings for United.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
Like they're not
very
bad.
good.
Like clearly they're good signings. Does it take?
I don't think there's anything.
I still just don't rate United, but I guess their biggest signing of the summer is actually extending Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to what is it, like 2025 or something like that. That's the best news.
2024.
That's the best news I heard all summer.
Gym coach still there. Let's go. No trophies.
I don't
for United.
think. I don't think there's much to really talk about Liverpool.
They signed Ibrahim Konate.
Harry Wilson. Yeah, Harry Wilson and Wijnaldum out. That's not big news. Konate's is good.
Yeah, I mean, what was their biggest issue this year? Was center back depth. How many games did Jordan Henderson play at center back last year?
Finally.
They signed another center back. So like, he's a good center back. Now I know the I see a lot of Liverpool Twitter on my Twitter feed, and they are clamoring for all kinds of players. I think they want midfielders. They want maybe more center backs. I don't know, but this is probably the only signing they're going to make this summer because Liverpool just don't spend money.
PSG.
I think that's
I know the pain.
That's
He was a pretty big player for them, though.
Who?
Gini Wijnaldum was a pretty good player for them. He was
falling off.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree with.
But how much of that is that he's?
Wait.
But how much of that is because he knows he's leaving?
I don't know if it's mental or physical. I don't. You never know that. But his form was falling off. I mean, he wasn't what he was a year ago. I don't think 2 years ago.
I mean, yeah, it's hard. Yeah. It's hard to really get up for it if you know you're leaving, and the team's like slugging it out to like try and make it to fourth. Like that's not really your fight anymore, because when you're like fighting to finish fourth, you're fighting for next season essentially. You're like, I'm fighting to be in the Champions League next season. If he's like, I'm going to Barcelona, I'm clearly going to be in the Champions League next summer. Like, what does it matter?
PSG. It was PSG.
Yeah, yes, it was PSG.
It was
but
Barca,
his thought process at the time was, I'm going to Barcelona. So what does it matter?
One thing I just like in sports in general, and I really just dislike. So maybe this will give you a little insight of how I was thinking. Is I really hate in whatever sport, whether it's baseball, football, American football, basketball, any of it. I hate when analysts, analysts, or commentators, or podcast people question people's heart. I hate that. Yeah. You don't know what that person's thinking.
Yeah, of course.
You never question how much they want it. You don't know that.
Yeah.
And I hate that because, like, as a player, like, maybe I just lost, man. Like, I'm already mad that I lost, and now you're questioning how much I want it. As a person who played sports, it would enrage me. Like, don't question how much I want. I want it just as much as the other guys. We just didn't win.
Yeah, and I think that's a fair point, and it's duly noted. I don't think that was not my intention.
It fires me up. Sorry.
But I think there is something to be said about I mean, he didn't play a lot at the end of the season. Like, was he injured? Like, I don't remember. I'm sure he was. I'm sure he was injured because everybody for Liverpool was injured last year.
Yeah.
I think everybody was injured. They had like 1,000 injuries, and interestingly enough, the reason they did is because they signed Arsenal's physio. But anyway, the dude was cursed. We never got people off the physio table when he was with us. And what happened to Liverpool?
You want to make sure he got them checks. You wanted them checks.
Well,
you need me. Look, he's on the table. You need me here.
Yeah, I guess so.
What's Chelsea got going on?
They haven't signed
a whole lot of people out.
Why haven't you signed?
We're quiet. That's good. Things are happening.
Oh yeah, we're behind the scenes. We're working. Everybody's on
That's
Papa Roman's yacht.
Yeah, that's what Marina's doing. Marina's putting in the work now. Then it'll bubble up.
I don't know why I keep you around, man.
It's simmering. Because I'm funny.
Bro, you're gonna come back in like 2 weeks and be like, yo, in 2013, when we hadn't signed anybody by August 1st, and there was an American playing in the Olympics for China, and you're just gonna come up with some ridiculous conspiracy theory as to why you guys signed Haaland, and I'm just gonna be like,
here's what it's gonna be. He's gonna tweet, "I'm headed to the Champions League winners."
Okay.
When he does that,
put it on the sheet.
Hazard picture right here.
Put it on the sheet.
Can we have it aside?
Yes, please. You and me. Let's go.
You know how their jerseys look like bus seats coming up?
Yep.
Have you noticed the jersey he's wearing right now looks like a toolbox that goes in the back of a F-150?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Because he's a tool.
No.
He's trying to get there.
Maybe Abramovich just really likes vehicle accessories. Like, so he's like, I saw a bus seat that I really liked, and that's what I want this. And then he was like, I
bus seat.
I was in America, and I saw a redneck with a really cool toolbox in the back. Let's make a jersey about that. And then that's what Brad's wearing right now.
Wow.
So if you guys who are listening on the podcast,
I'm sorry.
If you're listening on the podcast, just imagine what a toolbox looked like. And then that's the design.
It's like one of them red It's one of them red toolboxes with like the
no.
It's blue.
Like the one the one that's like in the truck bed.
Oh, you're talking about the metallic ones. The metallic ones.
Yeah, you gotta lift it up. Yeah, that's
I got you now.
Like that's the pattern of his shirt.
So that's fine. You guys want to make fun of our jerseys? That's cool.
Guys,
cool.
He's gonna put up a Champions League trophy background.
Don't worry. I don't need to. They already know.
All right. Anyway, let's.
But we
no one cares about Chelsea.
The one that hurt the most of the outplayers was Tomori. I was really, really looking forward to him coming back to Chelsea after a great season at AC Milan. But we included that buyout option, so
I mean,
we'll see what happens.
Clearly, you guys didn't need center backs, so it's okay that he left because you guys didn't try and sign for him.
We got others in the pipeline. It's okay. It'll be fine. I'm not worried.
All right, we're gonna move on to Leicester City. They finished like sixth, I think. Fifth. So they signed Patson Daka from Salzburg for 33 million, it looks like, and Samare from Lille for 22 million, and they got Ryan Bertrand on a free. Patson Daka is a center forward, Samare is a defensive midfielder, and of course Ryan Bertrand is a left back.
Champions League winning left back.
Brad, who did he play for?
Chelsea FC. The last time a London club won the Champions League.
Yo, if I had my red card out here, I would red card you. Anyway, thank you, Sean. I appreciate that. So, center forward. Is that a competition for Jamie Vardy or just depth?
Depth.
Yeah,
it's depth.
100% depth.
Vardy's
for the future.
Vardy proved last year. I thought Vardy was falling off after their, what was that, 16, 17 when they won?
After he had a baby this year?
I thought he was falling off. But no, last year proved like he's still got it.
Yeah,
he's still doing it.
I mean, as much as I dislike the guy, he's still good.
I think that's a future.
Yeah, I dislike him too. I think it's his face. Is it his face that we don't like?
Definitely.
Or he scores goals.
Definitely his face. I don't like him. He seems very arrogant when he plays football.
Yeah. I don't. I think it's his face for me.
He might be a lovely.
He looks like a
being.
very punchable face.
Yeah,
he could be a great person. Yeah. But it's just a very punchable face. Just like I'm full aware that Harry Kane is a mouth breather.
100%.
He's a mouth. He's like a caveman. Yeah. Whenever he does interviews, he's like, "Oh yeah, the team played great." Anyways, all right, sorry.
Brad, you made it a point to add this transfer out of Leicester that you feel like you need to talk about. So
for everybody that's been a loyal listener from the beginning, Christian Fuchs left Leicester City to sign for Charlotte FC, and I found my coins. From the very beginning of the pod when I couldn't find these things, I found my coins.
Traitor.
Christian Fuchs is coming to the Queen City. He's actually already in the Queen City.
For everyone who's not aware, Brad moved cities, and this is the new city team that he lives in now, not his original one.
I never had DC United gear. I never repped DC United. It's Charlotte FC, baby.
He's a traitor.
Turncoat.
He's forgetting where he's forgetting where he came from.
Yep. Thinks he got all big moving to North Carolina.
That's why he's a Chelsea fan.
Where's my coin? Anyway. Yeah, that's why he's a Chelsea fan. All right, moving on. West Ham signed Craig Dawson as center back depth. I guess so. Maybe they needed a center back. I'm sure they'll do some more. Let's talk about Spurs. They signed this cat.
That's a good one.
They talked about they signed this youngin, Brian Gill from Sevilla. Unfortunately, they're sending the world's greatest left-footed player, Eric Lamela, the other way. And $25 million. Like, what are they thinking? What is Paratici thinking here, Sean? He's clearly got this wrong.
Lamela's awful. That's why.
He's so much better than Pepe.
That's why we had to add money. He is, and he's still better than Pepe.
No, he's not.
Yes,
you're so wrong there.
He's still. I'm not backing off this. He's better.
He's not even a Tottenham player anymore. You can back off of it, and we won't say that you're.
That's how much I believe in it. He's a Sevilla player, and he's still better than Pepe. Anyways, I'm gonna be honest. I had to do some research on Brian Gill, see what he's about, and I was telling you, James. I know he's a little bit more attacking, a little bit more like a center mid, left wing, like a forward, but his movements on the ball are more like Moussa Dembele, the way he just evades defenders.
Yeah,
and it just seems natural, and that's how Moussa always was. It just makes these slight movements and just moves the ball just a little bit, and it draws fouls a lot, and things like little things like that matter a lot over the course of a game. So I'm really interested to see how he is.
What's his nationality?
He's Spanish. That's why Sergio Reguilon was really happy. So he also has another Spanish teammate, basically.
That makes me wonder. Question, because he's only 21, right?
He's very young. I do not know his age.
It makes me question whether or not he's going to adapt well to the Premier League. Because you talk about like drawing defenders in. He's 20. Okay.
Yeah.
Drawing defenders in, quick touches on the ball, keeping the ball close, things like that. You get a lot more soft fouls in Spain and Italy and things like that. In my opinion,
no, you're right.
Than you do in England.
You're right.
England is a much harder game. You're going to get a 6'4" center back that just crushes you.
Yeah. No, you're right.
And so you're going to have to deal with that. So I wonder how well he's going to adapt.
No, that's a very fair point. It is a rougher game where they let him play a little bit harder. They let shit go that it would be called in Spain, but is not called in England.
Yeah, I mean, like Harry Kane almost murders people in every game that he plays, and he just gets away with it. So
here we go. He does not. Wow.
Yes, he does.
He got mugged the whole finals. He was getting mugged.
That's because
anyways,
the Italian defenders don't jump.
Y'all watch this. Y'all watched Harry Kane get mugged by all of Italy.
Did he have the ball? He never had the ball.
He never got the ball.
His first touch was the penalty kick.
How was he mugged? His first touch in the box was his penalty kick.
Anyway,
we're not getting into this.
Okay.
He's getting mugged. That's why. You know why he didn't touch the ball? Because he got choke slammed by the Undertaker every time he got close, and then nobody called anything. That's why he didn't touch the ball. Anyways,
the same energy when he's still in London wearing blue.
I'm not going to. I'm gonna hate on him.
All of a sudden, he wears blue. No, Hurricane injures people all the time.
He's wearing the real blue right now, which is navy blue. No, yeah. You're right. No, you're right. Back to the point. I had to get back on point. Yeah, no, I'm interested to see, but Musso, to your point, was a lot tougher.
Yeah.
Where he could absorb that hit,
yeah,
and spin around it or whatever. I don't want to call this kid soft because I don't know him, but he looks skinnier. He looks smaller than Musa. Musa was a center defensive mid too, so he's built for that.
That's my only concern. Like, I know he's highly rated coming out of Spain. Like, all of the comments that I read on Twitter or on Reddit and things like this about this, they were like, "Man, what are they thinking over there? Like, this is crazy letting him go." So
yeah, I'm just excited. I'm excited to see how he pans out.
Yeah.
I'm not holding my breath because of the same concerns you have. We'll see. The keeper's okay. We're going to sign another one, just like you said, just like you predicted. We're working on. Oh no, we're working on a.
Should be. I think Collini's going to like understudy and then take over. I think if I'm not mistaken.
Get my sheet out. Oh yeah, you guys got rid of Toby as well today.
Yeah, we did.
Or maybe that was yesterday.
That one hurt.
Dang, did you see how sad Sean got right there? She said Toby.
Toby.
That one hurt.
Sell. I had that on there.
That one hurt.
I said you guys need a goalkeeper. You got one so far.
You said two.
Yeah. I said you need two, and you got one so far.
We're working on a Romero out of Italy somewhere. Is it Atalanta?
No, that's where Golini is from. Golini was Atalanta.
Romero's from there too, I think.
We're getting Romero out of Italy somewhere too. That's rumored. It's not confirmed. Nothing's confirmed yet.
Hey, I also have this cat Eric Lamela down on my sheet as a sell. So I'm just I'm crushing.
Lamela had to go. If you listen to the podcast, you know that I firmly believe Lamela had to go.
My sheet is crushing.
Rose didn't hurt as much, but that was like he was a good left back for us for a while.
You lost your life, Sean.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I lost everything. If you can hear me, I'm just going to keep talking.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, so I haven't. For
can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So I'm just going to keep talking.
No, we're good.
We can pretend that all of my monitors haven't gone out. And anyways,
we'll move on to Arsenal. We can move on to Arsenal.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
I can't see anything, so you guys are going to have to tell me shit.
We'll fill you in. It's a podcast anyway. What do you need to see?
There's nothing to see. We just converse it through.
That was really funny. So Arsenal, we've signed Tavares and Lukanga at this point. The light comes back in. These are we kind of talked about it 2 weeks ago. I think a little bit, didn't we? With both those guys. So we needed left back depth, and we needed another center midfielder.
Lukanga wasn't confirmed last time.
He wasn't, but I believe we talked about. We mentioned
about it.
Yeah, I saw. I saw it.
We needed center midfielders. So it's going to be interesting where he plays in the central midfield. Like, I'll be completely honest. I don't know much about him. He's kind of a young cat. Is my understanding he's like 21. So that to me is kind of a signing for the future. Like, he'll get some minutes this year, but I think we're still probably looking for somebody that we can pair with Partey this season. 43, Sean.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know. I think those are good signings. We've only lost people that we're loaning at this point. So
I think I called both of those signings. I think on the sheet.
Yeah.
I got to remember. There's one name missing on your outs list that's not there yet, and I can't wait for opening day, and he comes trotting onto the field wearing red still.
Xhaka.
Oh, William.
Oh, William.
Not Xhaka.
I mean,
Xhaka would be a good signing to stay, but
you've already lost Xhaka.
No, we haven't.
No, they hasn't. No, they haven't. It's not confirmed yet.
Really? I thought he was gone.
No,
he was already confirmed.
Roma hasn't given enough money yet.
The talks between Roma and Arsenal have hit a standstill. I don't even think they're negotiating right now.
Well, this is well documented. I don't like saying this. He was the best player for Switzerland. Like them not having that, and that was quarterfinal, semifinal, quarter. Them not having him, that was evident.
Yeah.
You could see it. It was a visual difference in their team with Xhaka not on the field.
Yeah. Well, if Willian stays, we get to see if what we thought his contract had in there will be in there, because there's no reason for him to be anywhere near your matchday squad. You guys should be banishing him like we did Danny Drinkwater.
I still hold this. It has to be in his contract that he has to play every game, and they keep subbing him on. Yeah, they keep subbing him on.
I think the 85th minute.
Yes.
One of the 3 subs has to be used on Willian.
If that's our meme for the season, that's a terrible meme. That's a horrible meme. I don't want that to happen.
If they start out the season and they're still subbing him on, trotting him out there, it's great.
I'll buy him a plane ticket to Miami.
I'm just gonna laugh the entire intro.
We got 3 weeks left before the season
starts. Every podcast.
We got about 3 weeks left till the season starts, and so I don't think any team is coming into bid.
Yeah,
I did want to ask.
Crowdsource me a Willian jersey and I'll wear it, team.
I did want to ask
if he's on the squad opening day. I think you have to wear the Willian jersey.
I don't own one. You got to crowdsource it. I'm not buying one. I'm definitely not buying one.
Guys, if you want to cash app us, DM the Red Card Radio.
Large kit.
DM us, Red Card Radio, and we'll send you the Cash App or the Venmo, whichever one you want to do to help us purchase this jersey for Mr. Tiffany here, for the Willian jersey. So if Willian's still on the team, he says he will wear it.
Yeah,
help us afford this, because we're broke podcasters. We can't afford a jersey.
What were you gonna say, Sean?
Well, that was funny. But I actually. Like another one of your players that I admired and would take on my team was Guendouzi. I was curious if that was like a personal thing.
Yeah.
Like maybe he wanted to go home.
No.
Maybe he wanted to be closer to something, or
it's a clash of personalities. So
okay,
he got his break under Emery, and he got a lot of playing time with Emery, and Emery
was good.
Emery really liked him. He played well. I mean, he was good
dangerous
for like a 20-year-old, right? Like, so he was good for a 20-year-old. And then Arteta came in, played him a little bit. They had a couple issues, like disciplinary issues, and then the team went to Dubai for a winter training camp before COVID, and he got into some disciplinary issues with Arteta and Adu. He was like just behaving like a 20-year-old, and they were like, "Yo, you can't do that at Arsenal. Like you have to, hold yourself to a certain standard." And he didn't like that. And he didn't like that it got publicized, I think, is my understanding. And then when we came back from COVID, he almost... so it was after the Brighton and Hove game that we lost away at Brighton and Hove after the restart. When
I make more money than you.
Yeah, where Mope murdered Leno. This was the rise of Emi Martinez. But he was talking smack to the BH&A players. Yeah, saying like he was taunting them, saying like I make more money than you, I make more blah blah blah. Like you guys beat us, but you guys are still trash. And Arteta didn't like that, and so he banished him from the squad. And was like, before you come back, you have to apologize. And he's like, I ain't apologizing for anything. And so we go on, we win the FA. We go on, we win the FA Cup. He's like tweeting or like Instagramming about like things completely like obviously not Instagramming about Arsenal. Even Ozil was Instagramming about Arsenal winning the FA Cup, and he had been ostracized as well at this point. And so shipped him out to Schalke last year, not Schalke, Union Berlin, whoever he played for. Let me look. It'll tell me. He played for someone last year, Hertha Berlin. And then that was because, he wasn't going to play for Arteta again, and he came back and he wasn't going to play for Arteta again. So it's a loan with an obligation to buy to Marseille, and it is what it is.
Okay, so I didn't know all that.
Yeah, that's the long story short. Let's talk about Leeds and Everton real quick to round out the top 10. Leeds signed 2 left-sided players, a left back in Junior Firpo and Harrison on the left wing. What do you and I know, Sean, you got some feelings about this. because they signed Harrison from City. Yep.
I just thought one of the best points of Leeds' attack last year was their left side.
Okay.
I felt like that they played through the left a lot. So I didn't understand why they would bolster the left unless they were injury prone, which maybe I wasn't paying enough attention to.
No,
maybe it's just backup.
They did lose Alioski. Like, his contract expired.
Okay.
So they're left back. They're starting left back who was...
Isn't Alioski old?
I don't think so.
29. Okay.
Yeah, so
I just was
old, but
I just was curious about those signings because I felt like that was the strongest part of their attack.
yeah, so they needed to replace Alioski first of all, and I think Rafina plays on the right side. I don't
So he's
know
not a
who the
left
left
back.
winger is. No, Alioski is a left back. Firpo replaces him, and I think Harrison is just depth. I don't think Harrison's gonna really play too much, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's
That's all I want to say. I just
Academy
thought it was
person.
curious.
Okay.
I just thought it was curious.
Everton is their biggest departure this summer was Ancelotti.
yeah,
Yep.
that hurts.
They signed Damari Gray and Anders Hansen. Everton's going to continue to Everton. Interestingly enough, I think Villa's had a pretty good summer. They signed Buendia and Ashley Young.
Who did they reach agreement over? Who are they competing for with Buendia?
Arsenal. They structured their money better for Buendia than Arsenal, but apparently Arsenal wasn't super keen, is my understanding, and that's why we didn't. I don't know. Apparently Odegaard's back on the market, so
Yeah.
it's coming home. Anyway, that's all we really got for transfers. We're sorry if we didn't talk about your team. Sorry, Brentford players or Brentford fans, we didn't talk about your team. Or Crystal Palace. Well, we'll talk about Crystal Palace where they signed Tammy Abraham or something like that. But
They already signed one Chelsea player.
is that Loftus-Cheek? They signed him? Who did they sign?
No, Guahi, one of our center back that played for Swansea, ended up, I think, player of the year for the championship last year.
Cool. Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
What do you guys?
cares?
So interestingly enough, so we have this. The three of our clubs are playing in this Mind Cup series of friendlies coming up here next week. It's a charity event meant to raise money for mental awareness or mental health awareness and things like that. And all three of these London clubs have decided to play each team is going to play twice. I think Arsenal is hosting Chelsea, and then Arsenal are going to Tottenham. No?
Chelsea's hosting Tottenham first.
Okay, that's
The
fine.
first game.
That's fine.
Sorry.
I don't care about the order. I'm just... Brad. No one
It's
cares
very
about the order.
important.
Yes,
No.
yes. Chelsea's
Very important
Brad,
why Chelsea's hosting Tottenham.
tell us why. Tell us what thing that Chelsea's going to do at this match. Tell us.
They are parading the good old Champions League trophy out for all of the Tottenham supporters to see what a trophy looks like.
That's actually an amazing troll from Chelsea.
That's a great troll, and I hope it's Havertz that's carrying it around from him when scoring the goal.
I mean,
I'm all for that. Or Tammy. Let Tammy carry it out there.
it's pretty funny.
It is.
But
It is.
so all of our teams are going to be playing in this friendly tournament coming up. But that's next week, or maybe it's like this weekend or whatever. So we'll talk about those results. But have your teams played any friendlies yet this summer? How are things going? How do you feel like you can get any information from it? Sean, why don't we start with Tottenham?
No, they're not playing any of the first team players. The two that we played so far, it's all been academy players. It's basically like a U20 team.
Yeah,
It's nothing to me. I mean, Delhi played. That's probably the only like first team player, if he's even still a first team player.
he is.
Like, I don't know. You can't take much from that. We played Leighton Orient and someone
I
else.
think you guys play them every summer. I think.
Yeah, well, and I don't mind that. That's a good warm up.
Yeah.
Because Leighton aren't pushovers. They're a good squad.
Brad, what about Chelsea?
Were they in like
What do you guys
they're in
got?
they're in League One?
We had our first official friendly this week, today, on Tuesday the 27th. We played Bournemouth I think we won. I think it's the same thing as Sean. A couple first team players. I think Ziek and Bluesick started the first half, but then our academy kids came on and scored some goals. So yeah, I don't think there's a ton to be learned right now, especially because all of our, most of our players have only been back in camp for like 2-3 days.
Yeah.
And some of them aren't even back. Like we still have more players out, so
Yeah.
I don't think there's a ton to learn. I think the mind games will be fun because it's a rivalry, but I don't think there's going to be a ton to learn from it. Besides, Chelsea's the ultimate troll.
Yeah, we've played 3 friendlies so far. We were supposed to have played 4 at this point, but we had to cancel our trip to America because of COVID. Apparently, there's a small COVID outbreak in the squad, so they didn't travel to America. But yeah, nothing of interest. I mean, we do actually have a significant number of first-team players playing in these games because Aubameyang, Lacazette, Partey,
Willian.
Those 3 didn't have international duty. Kieran Tierney came back really quickly from international break just because he's a monster. Like Rob Holding, Pablo Mari. So like there was a big contingent of Arsenal first teamers. So like I think it's been pretty useful in terms of like running out and getting some legs under them. But like yeah, that's about it.
See, me and Brad have this problem where like a lot of our players are international players that actually play for their country.
Went deep into the tournament.
Yeah, like it's a problem we have that maybe Arsenal fans aren't used to.
That's such an asinine comment because even
look how mad he's getting.
Because even it's not true. Because even it's not
the
true.
Tottenham part wasn't true, but I was going to let him have that because we were trying.
No, Tottenham did too.
So we just
Tottenham did too. Belgium.
We have less English players that go like. So we had like the only player we had that played for England was Saka, but
we had 2.
That's such an asinine comment. It's uncalled for, Sean. It's uncalled for.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I know you're not used to it.
Hey, you got a reaction from him. He just ignored mine when he said, "Yeah, there's a ton of first team players playing." I said, "Willian."
Oh yeah, I was not.
Just wasn't even gonna. Yeah.
Not talking about that. All right.
I wonder if they're trying to get his contract games in.
You really think this is the funniest thing ever? Like, you think it's the greatest thing
I love
ever?
it.
It is.
I love it.
Yes, it is.
Tell me in the comments why I'm wrong. That it's not the funniest thing ever. But
The Chelsea retirement home is alive and well.
yeah, if we sign Tammy Abraham, I'm gonna flip.
Especially y'all pay the asking price.
I'm gonna flip the table.
I'm here for it. Let's
No.
do it.
Please.
Y'all gonna fund the Harry Kane transfer. We already made 50 mil.
Edu, hit me up. We ain't doing it. We don't need him. All right.
What should
all we got.
happen and he scores like 20?
That's all we got. We're actually, just to give you guys a little bit of a schedule, I meant to do this at the top, but I forgot. So I'll do it now for anyone who's still listening. We will be back next week. We are back to our weekly cadence from here on out. We're going to go the next 2 weeks before the season starts and then right back into Premier League action on August 13th. So we're not far away now. Something like 17 days. So it's coming soon. But as always, we really appreciate if you guys would like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend, do all those good things so that you're not mildly inconvenienced. This man up here on the top row here is at KSBradG. Hit him up on Twitter. Down below us is at Whiteheart_Sean. I am always at James Tiffany on Twitter for all of us. And collectively, we are still at Redcard_radio. So hit us up, talk with us. We would love to hear from you guys. And until next week, officially next week, take it easy, guys.